we lazy? Akpabio. 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 Tajudeen Abbas. Akpabio. Barau Jibrin. Bengalu. Senate Committee. Simon Lalong. Seriaki Dixon. Ireti Kingibe. Senator Yaradua. All of you. Pass the bill. Pass the bill. My vote must count. My vote must count. No glitches. No glitches. Pass the bill. Akpabio. 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 Pass the bill. Because of the Buruku now. What should I say? Iwa Buruku. Don't point one way they don't like it. Or one national assembly members do one. In fact, for 3 years, Oshilaishe, you change national anthem one day. National anthem one day. Electoral Act 3 years will never be passed out. As how now? As how? Who will not the why? Yes. If Nigeria is not a country of particular concern, and we have lawmakers of particular concern, 2023 election, they say there was a glitch, and more than 2 years later, no independent audit, nothing to guarantee that by the coming elections you will not have glitches. The demand of everybody here is simple. We want free, fair, credible elections. That is the foundation of every democracy. Sir, in African countries, military coup took place. Nobody died. In Nigeria, during democratic elections, people died. To vote in Nigeria can be a death sentence. And lawmakers or politicians do not think it is expedient for them to make sure the process is credible and seamless. Look at the mischief of politicians. You change national anthem bill within 1 day. If the president apply for loan today, before evening it will be approved. But electoral act amendment bill, for 2 years and counting, committee, meeting upon committee, yet it has not been passed. Who is afraid of free and fair elections? Is Nigeria the only democracy that Democrats do not like free and fair elections? And this the Senate is supposed to be the hallmark of the democracy. Until votes begin to count, the country is not moving forward because there is no deterrence. What we do is to reward criminality and corruption. The more corrupt you are, the more likely you can win election. The way Nigeria is going, if we don't fix our election, non-bandits and terrorists will run for office because they're already holding peace and stakeholder forum in Katsina and other parts of the country. We must sanitize our electoral process. That is the first point of accountability. Let leaders know that power comes from the people, and then let them go there and behave irresponsibly. So that is our simple demand. Let votes count. Let there be free and fair election. Is it a bad demand, sir? It is unfortunate that by January today, 2026, we are still talking about this. According to the laws, at least a bill should be already signed 1 year out of the next election. Elections are about February next year. So as we are today, we are almost late. There is no consideration of the bill in the Senate. The House considered few clauses of it and went on holidays. Until today, they are just resuming for the year in 2026. So we are almost late, but it is part of the plan. The strategy was not even to pass it. Even if they pass it, they will create loopholes where they will be rigging and malpractice. So it is up to Nigerians to mobilize and know that when millions of people come out to vote, it makes rigging difficult. So it is Nigerians that will really give themselves electoral reform. All we will do is to get the legal framework. We will try to continue to put pressure. Nigerians must know that until your vote counts, we are wasting time in this country. Whether they sign it or not, of which they will pass it, we will ensure that the vote will protect our vote. For me, Peter, for Nigeria, my vote must count 2027. I'm not part of these shenanigans and these unfortunate criminal circles to all leadership. Our votes must count. 2027, we do not want glitches. Whatever that was the glitches, the person who said there was glitches is now an ambassador, by the way. Confirmed to be an ambassador. My brother, make you see country where we did. Nigerians want to vote our leaders. Without free and fair election, what is the deterrence? What is the... We have incentivized bad leadership because you know you can reward yourself with more years. No matter how bad you are, you can come back, you can install stooges. We say enough. Our vote must count. They must pass the bill. Whether they like it or not, we will mobilize and come out and vote. So either ways, they will pass it or they will pass it.
That's right.
Welcome everybody. Greetings to you. How's everybody doing? I hope we're all doing good. Anyway, there's a protest coming up tomorrow on the 9th, occupying NASS. So please, everybody show up. I'm using this my own media in my little corner to call out the leaders You guys need to show up tomorrow. Don't just leave the people to carry the weight of it. If Aisha can come out boldly, you guys do not have any excuse. And you guys, you all know yourselves. It's time for everybody to take this seriously. Anyway, tomorrow don't reach finish. We go see as it be now.
Who among the army men revealed the call of the traditional ruler to the bandits? You see, I've always said Nigerians should protect themselves and Nigerians should find a means to ensure that they are protected. Not because the Nigerian military are not capable. No, far from that. The Nigerian military are more than capable. The problem is that majority of them are compromised. They are more loyal to the tenets of Islam than they are to the constitution of Nigeria. And that is why it is a dangerous thing at this time to trust or to place your trust or your security on the military, because a lot of them are jihadists and terrorist sympathizers. In one community, in Kwara State, that was recently attacked, where over 200 persons were unalived. You find out that what happened is that they have become the terrorists, the Fulanis have been coming to want to make the people accept Sharia. I've told you that the process of Fulanization, once you get to the stage of Sharia, you are done. And so even though this is a Muslim community, they have been coming over and over to want the people to adopt Sharia as their governing rule, as against the Nigerian constitution. Although these people, being Muslims, they say, no, we serve Allah or we serve God, but we rather prefer to still abide by the Nigerian constitution other than Sharia. And it has been a back and forth with this community and the terrorists. Now on this day, they wrote a letter to the chief, to the traditional ruler, either the Sarki or the king or the chief or whatever it is, that they were coming to have a sermon, to preach a Sharia to the people. And the king, knowing their intent, knowing the intent of the people, knowing what they would do, had informed, pitiful, and called the Nigerian military exactly what every leader that is responsible would do. He called the military and informed them of the intent of these people, that they were coming for this purpose and for this purpose and for this purpose, and that please they need help in whatever way, either to come and protect them in the community or do all they can to ensure that this terrorists, this Fulanis, will not come to their community. And so after that, you expect that the army should rise up at that moment, help themselves, and come to defend the people. No. Guess what? Somebody from the army revealed the secrets, revealed the conversation of the man to the bandits, to the terrorists. And because of that, the Fulanis became angry, the terrorists, the Islamists, the jihadists became very angry. So, so you mean you have the temerity, you have the infantry, you have the mind that the gods who go and report us having, and because of that, they came with full force, with malice, with anger. What you saw was as a result of their anger, because they felt that this man had the gods to come and report us to the army. Somebody in the army betrayed the trust of the people. And so therefore they came with full force, destroyed lives and properties, all alive the people, massacred the people, because they were angry and said, how dare you report us to the military? Because somebody in the military is not loyal to the jihadists, he's not loyal to Islamization, he's not loyal to the Islamists that he is to the Nigerian state and the Nigerian constitution, even though he's still wearing the military uniform. Therefore, I demand that investigation be made. Whatsoever it is that reveal that information be exposed. We cannot live in a nation where we have people that are jihadists, because you know in this nation, those that are more loyal to Islam are much more than those that are loyal to the Nigerian state. I'm telling you. Then it is an abuse of power. It is against the integrity of the military. When you wear a uniform, you wear it with pride, you wear it with honor, you wear it with dignity. And you're right, according to the statement of the oath on your attestation day. When you go to attestation, there's something attestation where you have to swear oath to protect the life and property of the people, of the Nigerian state, of the Nigerian people, of the Nigerian population, not of your religion. And now they are more loyal to they are more loyal to Islam than they are to the Nigerian state. That this man called himself come and protect us. Exactly what this I'm saying. I'm not just saying it now. It's on Arise TV. Arise News took it. It was analyzed on Arise TV. Exactly the testimony of the traditional ruler. It was there. Go and check it on Arise. It is there. I'm not just forming this up. So what reveal it? And you see, we're just moving on. I'm tired of this fact that if nonsense will happen, we just move on. We find it easy to move on. We shouldn't that battalion or that squad or that unit be probed? Who revealed the information to the terrorists? Who revealed the conversation of the man calling them to come and assist him because of what the Fulanis were coming to do? Who revealed it to the Fulanis that made them angry to come and do what they did? Maybe, just maybe the casualty wouldn't have been more than that, just maybe. But because they revealed it, the people came. You cannot defend them. Instead of you to leave them for their own and tell them we cannot defend you, you now reveal their secret. You reveal their conversation to the people that they were afraid of. What a barbaric thing to do. How we become so animalistic in our mind? Eh? What nonsense is this? The military I know, I know the military, I was trained in the military school. I understand the integrity of the way you wear that uniform, you wear with pride. And you want to do everything possible to justify the honesty, to justify your training, to justify the training you've received in that military, in that service. So as to be able to protect the people, and you want to wear with dignity. Now you have a lot of Islamists in the military. I told you, if you ever have a challenge and you're looking for people to, you want to call the military, ensure whosoever you are is a Christian. If you call a Muslim, there are chances that he might be more loyal to the Islamists, more loyal to Sharia than he is to Nigeria. And if that is the case, be rest assured that your calamity has not been increased. You say, we advocate for the society, we advocate for the Nigerian people, either Christian or Muslim. I've told you I don't hate Muslims. I want to be in a nation where anybody can practice your own, I practice my own. According to the scripture, according to my mandate, I have the responsibility to preach to you. If you don't accept it, it's your choice. I will not kill you for, I don't have the right to kill that. I shouldn't do that. Why will some people want to Islamize, have this Islamization thing in mind? Being facilitated and enabled by the jihadists in the north, by the oligarchs. That the Fulani man was even caught with a rifle that is registered to the NSA, National Security Advisors Office, to the NSA or one of those departments, the department that no refer to the National Security Advisors list, registered there. And they came back and gave you some nonsensical, stupid excuses. And you believe it, because they know you believe it. Nobody has said that again. That one also has been swept on. How did the weapon get to his hand? To the hand of a Fulani man. They came and they said, what is that excuse? The vigilante program. What nonsense vigilante program? Read a rifle. I've told you. These people have been fascinated by men in the military. Men high in government. How will a Fulani man get money to buy a rifle, an AK-47 gun? We demand a probe. Whosoever in that squad, that conversation must be traced. Who did it call? Who received the call of the man? How were the people that were there when he was talking? Those people should be probed. They should be charged. They should be confronted. Whatever it should be investigated. We cannot live in a place where we cannot trust men in uniform anymore. Because we are afraid that they will reveal our secret to the people that want to kill us, that want to unalive us. Exactly what happened. Let that man be investigated. Whosoever it is that to be investigated. And for the church, I've said it. We must initiate the procedure program. You see, I keep saying this to you. Think, a day's coming, you think I'm foolish. There was a time a man kept talking about this same thing. This same thing. A man from the east kept talking about this same thing. We thought he was foolish. Until now, we are seeing the reality of it presently going on. I'm still telling you that the Nigerian military cannot protect you. Initiate a program, a security network to defend Christian communities in the north and all over Nigeria to defend the church. That will be facilitated and sponsored by the church. If you think of 30 years from today, you'll be surprised we'll still be here battling with this issue. After all, who knew that what started in 2009, which is 2026? And we'll be 16 or 17 years after. We're still battling with it. Initiate the Crusaders program now. Ensure that the church is secured. Deploy them to Christian communities. I'm saying it again. Listen to me. PFL, listen to me. Otherwise, the blood of the people will be on that, because exactly the same way the blood of the people that was unalive in Woro community is on the head of the military. Whosoever reveals the information, the blood is on his head. He should be arrested. Listen to me. Begin to put together a program where you can raise men to defend the church. Don't say you're trusting of the military. They'll work hand in hand with the military, but their job will be responsible for the church and Christian communities. I'll say this, or you can look at me and say I shout a lot. I say this man of God talks a lot. No problem. Time will justify it. Prosperity will judge us all. If you think I'm playing, if you think I'm wasting my time, no problem. I know what I'm saying. There are things that I have, but I'm not even revealing. When I look at every time I go to look at those documents and I see the evil they have plotted there, I know what I'm saying, though. I know exactly what I'm saying. If you can think I'm foolish, no problem. If you think I'm foolish, I know that it's foolish. No problem. We'll be here. I pity you. I pity Nigeria. Because you have no idea what is coming for you. Nigerians, you have no idea what is coming for you. I pity you. Whosoever reveals that thing should be investigated. I demand an investigation now. Thank you.
Bawoni, how are you? Good to see you, my brother.
Capable is incapable of enforcing peace in his own, guaranteeing security to the point where America had to send its soldiers. And you say that country is not finished. It's not that American soldiers are even on Nigerian soil. It's the fact that Nigerians are legitimately and rightly happy, rejoicing at the idea. And you say the country is not finished. What kind of country?
I'm on my life. Did you want to contribute?
Where we've become a reproach.
We're talking about the National Assembly, the Occupy Nigeria. You know they are occupying the house tomorrow, National Assembly. So we're just running through what is possibly going to happen. I'm just sharing some videos. If you're not ready to talk now, that's fine.
Another one brought our dirty laundry to the public arena, pointing out how we have like 6 generators in one building, which is the truth of our existence. Pointing out how everything is for sale in our country. You can buy a passport. You can have, if you're connected enough, you can have entries deleted in this database and something new placed there. You don't need to know how to drive before you get a driver's license. A friend of mine, Modi, told the story of how another friend of his was trying to get a national ID card, and it was taking forever, and he needed a means of ID urgently. This guy didn't know how to drive. Well, he was guided to take a driving test online, and was issued a license. Paid a token sum, maybe less than 50,000 or something along those lines. This is the country that you say is not finished. Nigeria is so divided that people cannot even see how criminal someone like Gumi is when he likens terrorism to business. 170 human beings slaughtered. And since we began to subjectify humanity, these were Muslims. The terrorists wrote to tell them that they were coming to preach. The traditional ruler took the letter, informed the authorities, and the terrorists came, slaughtered indiscriminately. They were not asking for their identity. They slaughtered human beings, male, female, old, young. Slaughtered them without it, simply slaughtered them. And you say that country is not finished. They slaughtered them. And the president, who is never bothered to visit the scene of any of this, at least Buhari tried, even if he will carry his red carpet, he went to Dachi. This one doesn't go anywhere. Yelawata, there are too many tragedies to track. But at least a token visit to empathize, show that Nigeria simply went on like nothing happened. And then they sent a battalion. A battalion was sent after the fact. After the fact. Let me remind you that some weeks ago, it was in that same Kwara state that a militia, a Fulani militia, was not only identified.
In 2015, Buhari was a mistake that should never have been made. Tinubu is the consequence of that mistake. And Nigeria, the likely instance or scenario is likened to this body of a sick individual in almost a dying state that should have been handed over to professional medical personnel to treat, was rather handed over to organ harvesters who have no interest in fixing that body, but are harvesting the remaining vital organs for personal gains. Nigeria today is almost completely in the hands of criminal elements, and from top to bottom, what we call government is organized criminality. When did the hearing for electoral reforms begin? How long did it take for us to pass an act where you could change an anthem, the national anthem, in one day? If President Tinubu wants to borrow loan from Money Point to clear Pampe, he can get it within 5 minutes on the rubber stamp at Babio Senate. Yet, an electoral bill for more than 2 years, committees from both the House and the Senate have been meeting, and it has dragged up till this point. Mr. Victor, we are in February of 2026. Election should be at least maybe February or March of 2027. So it is almost too late, and it is a careful and deliberate plan to drag it up till this point. What did the opposition lawmakers do? A whole Oshomole where they wear khaki go, they sweat, who is fighting this, they put leg on top of his leg and he was very carefully massaging it. If he has put that kind of pressure and, intelligence or detail into budget, we would have had a better budget. If the way Oshomole was massaging that leg, that is how he scrutinized the Electoral Act Amendment Bill, we will have real-time electronic transmission of results. But he takes that massage job more serious than the job he's doing in the National Assembly. Well, that is why you must drain the swamp and send out non-essentials from that place. Nigeria has packed the Senate with a bunch of invalids, people that have no business in public office.
Where is the lie?
We have a young man who is a youth advocate, a human rights activist, someone who has been in the forefront of electoral reforms in this country. His name is Peter Aka, Peter for Nigeria. It's a pleasure.
Always.
And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, sir. Thank you for having me.
Good to see you. It's always a pleasure having you on the set.
Thank you, sir.
All right, many Nigerians see real-time electronic transmission as the heart of credible elections.
Yeah.
In plain language for the ordinary man on the street, what exactly did the Senate reject and why does it matter?
I mean, to begin with, we must understand that as it is today in Nigeria, the APC-led federal government has decided to wage war on democracy and by extension, the lives of Nigerians by hitting the heart of what should keep us as a society. Mandatory electronic transmission of result is what the National Assembly has rejected. And Nigeria, as it is today, we must realize that the APC-led federal government has decided to wage a war against democracy and by extension, the lives of all of us as Nigerians. Because an unpopular government who know that they cannot win an election when it comes to free, fair, and credible polls, know that the only option they have today is electoral malpractice, a corrupt INEC, and a corrupt judiciary. But there is history to read. I said in 2023 that Nigeria made a mistake in 2015. Buhari was a mistake that should never have been made. Tinubu is the consequence of that mistake. And Nigeria, the likely instance or scenario is likened to this body of a sick individual in almost a dying state that should have been handed over to professional medical personnel to treat was rather handed over to organ harvesters who have no interest in fixing that body but are harvesting the remaining vital organs for personal gains. Nigeria today is almost completely in the hands of criminal elements, and from top to bottom, what we call government is organized criminality. So for more than 2 years after the 2023 charade that was conducted by Mahmoud Yakubu, where he collected more than 300 billion and claimed that electronic technology will be the game changer, but somehow there was a glitch. He was not held to account. He has been nominated and confirmed to become an ambassador. Now the people have said we do not want to make electronic real-time transmission optional for INEC. We need it to be mandatory, and there should be consequences if INEC decides to go against these guidelines. The 10th Assembly, which is a rubber stamp assembly, the most unproductive, by the way, in the history of Parliament, decided to surreptitiously, through the back door, pass an act that is only going to become a document of fraud to aid and abet corruption and election rigging. And any well-meaning Nigerian who means well for our life must wake up and resist it, because our keeping quiet or our collective silence has emboldened Akpabio to convert the 10th Assembly into what it has become today.
What do you make of the scenario where we have senators speaking from both sides of their mouth? Some are saying 85% of senators supported transmission of results.
Yes.
And then others are saying, yes, we did not reject it. What exactly, why do you see this confusion between them?
I think every member of the 10th National Assembly from top to bottom should be thoroughly ashamed of themselves.
Simple.
They should be ashamed of themselves for conducting themselves in the way and manner they have carried themselves from the inauguration of that 10th Assembly. Both those in the APC and those in the opposition, because it is their collective docility that has converted the assembly to become almost a den of unarmed robber, cavalier in their impunity, only able to aid and sustain corruption and criminality in government.
Bam.
When did the hearing for electoral reforms begin? How long did it take for us to pass an act where you could change an anthem, the national anthem, in one day? If President Tinubu wants to borrow loan from Money Point to clear Pampe, he can get it within 5 minutes on the rubber stamp Akpabio Senate. Yet, an electoral bill for more than 2 years, committees from both the House and the Senate have been meeting, and it has dragged up till this point. Mr. Victor, we are in February of 2026. Election should be at least maybe February or March of 2027. So it is almost too late, and it is a careful and deliberate plan to drag it up till this point. What did the opposition lawmakers do? For those of them who know exactly what should have been the contents of the bill, it is a collective action that have led us to this. And guess what? The National Assembly that went on holidays in December and resumed on the 27th of January came back, and Akpabio has passed this fraudulent bill, and they have also adjourned and proceeded on another short recess to resume at the end of February. So you can see that it is all a plan to ensure that this document is dragged and stalled, and there is maximum time to rig elections. Because guess what? Once you allow manual collation, where the collation centers are the shrine of INEC election rigging, what does it empower? The ruling party. That is why you can see all the defections. APC does not have 31 states, they have 31 governors. Why is it important? Because they are the strong men at the gates that can help to subvert the votes of the people. They can rewrite and do what they did in Obiakpo, and then coerce people and INEC using law enforcement to announce rigged results and announce the president. Because as they know today, Tinubu cannot win a free and fair elections. Before 1 o'clock, he will not only lose Aso Rock, he will lose Bodilon where he lives. He will lose Ikeja, Alausa, Lagos State Government House. The votes cannot come from anywhere. So all of this is a ploy to ensure that rigging machine is legitimized. We must resist it.
You have for long warned Nigerians about loopholes in our electoral act.
Yes.
From what we've seen now, this latest decision by the Senate, is it a confirmation of those fears?
Absolutely. I have always maintained that the National Assembly as it is today has become an extension of the presidency. It is an APC town hall, almost filled with political bandits who are there to satisfy personal greed and personal ambition, not to serve the will and well-being of the people. Every law that is passed in the National Assembly must be carefully scrutinized by the people, because there must be loopholes. That is why today you are talking about a fraudulent or a forged tax law, one that is supposed to be the signature policy of the current Tinubu-led master strategist government. Yet there is forgery on it, and they are able to come out clear to tell us what exactly is in it. The same National Assembly where more than 200 trillion allegedly missing from NNPC till today have not been able to investigate to find out where did the monies go to. Money that is more than the entire debt of the country. So even the so-called Electoral Act Amendment Bill If Nigerians do not pay attention, it is not just in passing it is in the details. Look at the clauses that remove some of the lawmakers as delegates. You remember they passed a bill that shortchanged some of them, and that is why they could not act as delegates in primaries. It has been returned back. They are considering clauses that are going to enable them to give powers to persons, inmates in the prisons to begin to vote. Who is going to verify them? How are you going to know? Before tomorrow you come, they say one of the prisons in Oko Central, all the people votes they went to APC. The one in Agodi prison in Ibadan went to. So there are deliberate attempts to ensure that this document does not guarantee free and fair elections. You cannot have a rubber stamp in it where the president goes there and is greeted on their mantra, on their mandate, they shall collapse. So it is a captured assembly. Only the Nigerian people can put pressure to get what they want.
If you are to explain to the average Nigerian on the streets,
Yes.
this latest move by Akpabio Senate,
Yes.
vis-a-vis the electronic transmission of results,
Yes.
how will you explain it to the person?
I will explain to you as a Nigerian to know that one of the only ways to ensure that INEC and human beings do not rig your elections and manipulate results has been taken away from you. Electronic transmission of results real time means you are going to boycott all of that moving from polling units to ward collation center to local government to state before it gets to Abuja. That is the channel of criminality that happens during elections. Now that law is supposed to mandate that from the polling units, the results must be transmitted in real time to a central server where everybody will have access to it. And it must mandate it to be justiciable. Because in 2023, remember that INEC used the same electronic technology, but when they went to court, the judiciary said it is not known to the Electoral Act. So what exactly Section 60 subsection 5 says? The presiding officer shall transmit results in a way and manner as prescribed by INEC. Did INEC prescribe a way? Yes. Paragraph 38, 39 of the INEC guidelines clearly talks about electronic transmission of results. But the court said it is not an omission to the act. So what we were telling the National Assembly is take what is on the act and put it on the, take what is on the INEC guidelines, let it reflect on the act and amend the relevant section of the Constitution so that it is at par. And today the National Assembly is telling us that there are reasons why it cannot work because of technology.
If you are to advise,
Yes.
or your voice or your views are to supersede every other view,
Yeah.
what specific sections of the Electoral Act must be amended if Nigerians truly are to enjoy compulsory real-time e-transmission of results?
The section that talks about electronic transmission of results, section 60, from 1, 2, 3 to 5, to look at it. What exactly are we talking about this use of electronic technology? Mr. Victor, do you know that electronic technology is a baby project of INEC itself? What exactly was written in INEC position paper 21 by the outgone professor of glitches, Mahmoud Yakubu, was that to reduce human interference, we need electronic technology, where situation rooms will be manned by almost every person in the opposition to have real-time, monitoring of these results. If we do not do so, it then means we are leaving it in the discretion of human beings who can decide to manipulate it as we want to. Now, if we fix that electronic technology and make it mandatory, we now need to build, on that kind of system where electronic technology is being monitored by every person. Because, by the way, INEC has been awarding contracts to contractors worth hundreds of millions on the use of electronic technology. Who has been held accountable for the glitches that occurred in 2023? What happened to those persons and the monies that were given to them? And the Senate media spokesperson, Senator Yemi Adaramodu, I listened to his interview and it was a terrible disgrace. I have never felt more ashamed listening to a Nigerian leader. Any Nigerian lawmaker or politician who in 2026 believes that electronic technology will not work for elections is a thief.
Bam.
Anybody who is saying electronic technology will not work because of network issues is a thief and is trying to steal the mandate of the people. And I will tell you why. INEC, led by Mahmoud Yakubu, visited the then NCC Director Omar Dambata as far back as 2018. They set up a steering committee on how to use this electronic technology. They invited telcos, including like MTN, Glo, and the rest of them, say, let us get expertise and technical advice on how you have been helping JAM to conduct CBT tests. Unfortunately, somehow it was close to 2019. Buhari needed to do the elections he needed to do, and they did not implement it. Fast forward to 2023.
Wow. This is a great interview, guys. Oh, we move.
As we push for an INEC reform that will enable INEC transmit election results from the polling unit,
let's not also ignore another important factors. Nigeria must be allowed to choose their leaders right from beginning to the end. When I mean right from the beginning, I'm trying to talk about the party primaries and party delegates. You see, this issue of party delegates is another disaster we are ignoring.
Yeah.
Yes, now.
Yeah.
Because we've all been left with the options of whatever the party projects is whom we will choose or accept or choose from. I think it's time Nigeria start to work on that also. We must start rejecting it. The party primaries must be allowed to be broader and wider than it has been. It must no longer be left to some selective few in the name of party delegates who always seize the opportunity to become richer during election primaries.
Exactly.
I guess you all know what I'm talking about, right?
Yep.
How can a party as big as, let's assume, the ADC, now reduce it down, the decision of who becomes the next president or who fly the flags of the party down to just some few persons who will be less than 20,
I'll share my
or maybe
link.
at most 100 persons.
Let me share my
You
link.
now narrow it down to that number. And those are the people who always take the advantage to cash in and project and give it to the highest bidder. That is the only reason why the likes of Atiku Abubakar is still running. That is the only reason in ADC they will tell you, stop saying give it to Peter Obi. If he's popular, let him go for the primaries.
Exactly.
They know that few will go and the highest bidder will get it because the delegates are all hungry people. By the way, who are these delegates? How do they even emerge? What's their credibilities? You understand? So I want Nigeria to look at this party delegates, this area of party delegates. We must not accept it anymore. You see the way ADC has come out. ADC must prove to be the people's party or forget about it. Because if you want to go the same way of the other party, we'll just leave you to read. Everybody is saying, give us Obi. I think that should be the primary process. Yes. Everybody is saying Peter Obi or nothing. Instead of ADC to see that as a threat. Not even ADC, now it's Atiku and Co. that is in it as a threat. But the majority of Nigerians are already telling you this is whom we want. Just give it to them, assuming that is the primary. I don't know if you get it. Not saying let's go to the field to conduct a primary. And who are to decide in that primary? Some few miscreants who have no conscience, who have no integrity. They'll just collect money from the highest bidder. That is the only reason why Bola Ahmed Tinubu emerges as APC flag bearer ahead of Professor Yemi Osibanjo.
I'm telling you.
If it was not down to some few delegates who are hungry, who needed more money, Osibanjo was the most qualified entity in the APC during the 2022 primary election within the APC.
Exactly.
But the money bag, the Jagaban of Africa was there. He came out with the dollars rolling. Checks were flying. And they gave it to the highest bidder, and this is where we are now. So in the case of ADC, you must do something different. You must do things differently, or else we treat you as they say, we just walk away. Let's continue to endure the suffer together. So my fellow Nigerians, you see these party primaries and their party delegates, we must give it a good attention. We must flash our torchlight there now. Because having an INEC that will give us a live transmission of result will not be enough if the delegates still go for the worst candidate within the party. So we cannot be solving one problem and allow the other one to lie low, whereas these two problems are actual major problems. Because I remember the last election when it was between Atiku in the PDP and what's the name? Bola Ahmed Tinubu in APC, and it was like if there was no Obi, if there was no Obi of the Labour Party in that election, it would have been at making a choice between bad and evil, between the devil and the deep blue sea. And this is being made so by the delegates. I don't know if you understand. How will Atiku become the best candidate PDP can provide as of 2023? And Tinubu, the best APC was able to produce in 2023? That was wrong. Because some few delegates are hungry, stomach infrastructure, they just cash in and the highest bidder will get it. ADC must do something different. I think I will do more video on this. ADC, the primary process of ADC must be the voice of the people, the general populace out there. I mean the likes of us. Nigeria, majority of Nigerians are clamoring for Peter Obi. I think that's the primaries already. So if you go and throw it open and then bring in some 50 or 20 hungry people in the name of delegates and Atiku just buy them over and say primary have been conducted, we will leave the parties for you again. This is just my opinion. This is a point I have raised. I don't know what you think about it, but if it makes sense to you, share this video and let's deliberate more on this issue. Party delegates and party primaries is also a problem in our electoral system. Let's address it. Share this video and I see you.
I'm telling you, the guy has a great point. I've shared my link. Anyone who wants to join, you can use that link to come into the studio. Let's have a conversation about this. Anyway, now let me quickly take this is some parallel facts. So do you know that your soldiers, they went to rescue 162 they went to rescue cows. Meanwhile, 162 villagers and more, because they're still counting, were massacred in Kwara by terrorists. But your military men went to look for cow. Oh, I'm telling you, it's not even. It's crazy, but that's what it is. Yeah. Welcome, Alvin. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Do you want to share your thoughts now before I move forward with other videos?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm so sorry, guys. Is my voice was cracked yesterday from a football match. And you'll bear with me.
That's okay. Thank you for joining us. Welcome.
Yeah. So for me, I have always been an advocate of transparent election and transparent process at which candidates emerge in party primaries and party candidates. In 1998, in Plateau State, it will interest you to know that only 30 people were the people who elected OBJ.
Wow.
That is Obasanjo.
Are you serious? 30 people?
Yeah. Yes, I can name you the name.
No kidding.
IBB. Solomon La.
Wow.
Tony Aneni. The other man from Kaduna, and some other few elements like, and half of these people are already dead. So why am I saying this? The foundation at which the 1999 democracy was laid is very faulty. Okay? Then I also need to remind people that President Goodluck Jonathan was handpicked like a potato on Nigerians. We know some people who have always wanted to page the treasury in Nigeria by bringing in Jonathan. Were they lucky? People will say yes, Jonathan was a bit different from the others, although he's a weak man. Buhari was elected by 50 people.
Hey!
And one of the major shareholders in that electoral process was President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who was then known as the APC national chairman, national leader, sorry. And then again, when he came, he was being elected again by 50 people as the candidate. Why did I say this? Did I take you people across this process? Many of these delegates are transactional politicians. For them is what will be in my bank account and what my stomach will eat. They don't care about the vast majority of Nigerians. Okay? They don't care. That is why I have always been advocating for independent candidacy. Okay? I don't even fancy this politics of being in one party like sardine. Grouping yourself with people you don't have same ideology with, you don't have same emotional drive with. I've always advocated for independent candidacy. That is just my view on the process of electing candidacy. It's very flawed. It's very ineffective, and it will not take Nigerians anywhere. Now, coming to the INEC. INEC have shown that they will always do the bidding of political parties in power. We were just lucky we were unlucky in 2011 that the INEC chairman, Professor Jega, was in tune with his religious belief, and they brought in Buhari. Look, in the advanced democracy world, the results are supposed to be coming out from the polling unit. Full stop. It's supposed to be electronically transmitted from the polling unit, because that is where the people are. They will monitor in real time. I will take you for example. When the US election was going on, I was seeing the college votes in real time. Okay? We need to do away with coalition centers. That is where they hijack the people's will and they put whatever concussion they want to put there. We must insist that transmit these results from the polling unit in real time. Let me, in faraway Pakistan, be able to monitor the election in real time from my polling unit. Let someone far away in Spain or Netherlands or America be able to monitor the results in real time. We have spent billions upon billions, and we are still talking about transfer. Transfer to where? Because these politicians know that the moment you transfer to the next center, they will pack their talks, loyal, hungry people, and ring the vote out there and put whatever concussion in the INEC register. So for me, the Senate president must show that they are loyal to Nigerians and not Tinubu by passing the law that the Nigerian populace are yearning for, which is electoral transmission in real time, and make it mandatory. The Senate president should not be speaking for INEC. He's not part of INEC. His institution that he's head of is the Nigerian Senate. not the Independent Electoral Commission. So his own is to pass the law that we are going to be transmitting the results from the polling unit to INEC server in real time, and it has to be mandatory.
But you know what they said? They said that even if somebody was saying that even if they pass it, right, that the president still has a right to say no, he's not going to. But here's what about, so somebody now said, well, they have two-thirds votes.
The president can be bypassed.
Exactly.
Look,
they have with a two-thirds vote.
Let me tell you, the Senate can use the veto power and pass it. I'll give you an instance. For instance, yeah, in 2003, when the then president Obasanjo, right, refused to enact the what's it called, the Healthcare Act, okay,
right,
that was heavily moved by.
Welcome, Seed. Welcome, Atlantic. I see you guys. Go ahead.
Yeah, that was heavily moved by Mama Taraba. The president then was saying that, oh, he wants the Healthcare Act to be under the federal. They bypass him and pass the damn law. So it will not be the first time we are bypassing the president. Yaradua was bypassed. When the issue of amnesty program came, that they should give amnesty to the Niger Delta youth, first the president refused, and the Senate bypassed him and passed the damn law, and he was forced to act accordingly. The president is not bigger than Nigeria.
Yeah, they will be forced. So what I was hearing, see, I see your comment, right? What I was hearing in some quarters, in some spaces, is that they will have to do what they are in the Senate for. The citizens will have to make them do it. This is why the protest is very important. And I think
discovered now that my senator, representing my senatorial district, is part of the Electoral Commission committee.
Oh, really? So
and,
we can write.
Yes.
We can write and put pressure on him.
I have bombarded his email. I even called to tell him that, look, sir, you know you are an old man. You are very old. You are 68 now. Be thinking about your children's future. Please,
can you send me his number too, or his is he on Twitter?
I will do that.
Is he on Twitter?
No, it's only on Facebook. He's an old man, a very archaic man.
Okay, can you send me his contact, because we need to put pressure on all the same. Okay, thank you.
So I have also put pressure on my two House of Rep member, Honorable Okoje and Marcus Onobu.
The House of Rep passed it. There was no problem with the House of Rep. House of Reps passed it.
No. I know. Why I'm saying it is that, look, the Senate feels that they are big and bad. And I also telling my House of Rep I
shared it. Sorry, Mr. Alvin. Hold on one second. I actually shared their details on my channel, actually. Now that we're talking about it, let me go here. I'm going to come back to this video. So that you guys can see. I actually forgot. I shared it. Let me see. If you have relatives in Abuja, tell them, okay? Tell them to show up. These are the members of the Senate Conference Committee. This is it right here. These are their names.
Yeah.
Let me make it bigger. Let me see if I can make it bigger. I can't make it. Can you guys see it? I'm not just so efficient like that. But anyway, let me read the name for now. So this person, this is weird. Open image. Let me see. Let me open the image now. Okay, there we go. So the members of the Senate Conference Committee, Senator Lalong, Senator Adeniyi Adegbomire, Senator Taher Mongono, Senator Adamu Alero, Senator Orji Kalu, Abba Moro, Asuko Ekpeyong, Aminu Abbas, Senator Tokunbo Abiru. Then members of the House of Reps. Oh, they even have House of Reps conference committee. Honorable Bayo Balogun, Ahmad Idris Wase, Fred Agbedi, Honorable Sada Soli, Amadu Jaha. I can't see these other ones down. Why their name cut out? Oh, shoot. Their name cut out too. I can't find their names. So that's it right there. So you guys can go to my channel and you'll see the post there. Okay?
Yeah. And guess what? These are even not all. They have subcommittee. But however, we don't care. They are going to do what Nigeria send
Right.
them
We
to
have
do.
animals.
Sorry. Go ahead.
So it's not even about. It's not even about them. It's about we the people.
Yeah, they are.
And
Their
also-
names. I think their names and videos are there actually. I'm not sure I'm finished. More than over. Sorry, Idemudia. Please don't lose your train of thought because you are really dropping some gems here for us. Please don't lose your train of thought. Just hold that. I want to show. I was going to go to the next page. Yeah, so their phone numbers are there. You can see it right there on the post. Their phone numbers are there.
We have hawks. We have animals, vampires,
Where did
non-living
he
things
go?
leading us. That's what we have hawks. We have animals.
All right, sorry. Go ahead now. Now you're free. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so for me, the passing of electronic transmission is non-negotiable. We did it in 2020, where we asked that the President Buhari-led administration should pass into law the need to use the beavers. First, he refused. After his 2019 election, he obliged. So for me, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, if he think he's popular, that he have the people, okay? Because you cannot be bragging, right? That you are popular, you have people behind you, that you have the country locked down. Why don't you come and test that popularity? What they don't understand is, in a free and fair contest, and they win, Nigeria will support them, isn't it?
Of course.
But
We
don't
will
come
support
and
them
play
now.
on-
We will know, okay, they won. It was
Yes.
fair. It was free and fair. And
Yes.
they won clean. Yes, we will support. We won't have a
But
choice. Yeah.
But don't come in a sneaky way. You know, it's like throwing yourself a party and act surprised. It doesn't make sense. So, for me, the electronic transmission is what I stand for, and it must be passed.
That's why, so the citizens have to insist on it. This is why the protest is very important.
That
And
is
force
right,
it.
yes.
I'm happy that a
I
lot
have-
of voices are speaking up and standing on it. What I want to see is the leaders of the opposition in front as well. That's what I need to see.
Yeah, I saw David Mark Some were telling the Senate president to pass the damn law and not speak for it. I think that's a positive step. But however,
He was saying it with a smile on his face now. This guy is.
You know that David Mark is an emeritus. Don't forget, he's also a former Senate president. So he understands how this thing works. And remember, he was also forced at one point to adopt the doctrine of necessity for former President Goodluck Jonathan. When some people wanted Jonathan to be in the shadows, and they run the country from their bedroom, the Nigerian citizen stood up and said, Oga, adopt the doctrine of necessity. Since 1960, Nigeria have never used doctrine of necessity, and it was used in 2010. So we have the records. We have the records. So for me, the Nigerian people should not wait for the opposition leaders. We have to take our destiny in our own hands. A free, fair, credible election that is devoid of human interaction with it or human manipulation to it is the right step to a positive and great nation. I mean, look at South Africa. They spent $240 million, and their election is up to a perfection. Although there have been instances of, some few hitches here and there, but however, the nations always sees who win hands down. So we want the same thing replicated here in Nigeria. We cannot brag to say we are the biggest economy in Africa. We are the biggest population in Africa. And we are still doing election like the FEDECO years. We have to involve, and this is the time.
Yeah, I hear you when you said that, the people have to insist upon it. I agree, and I fully support that. Like I was saying, I saw a video where I think they are NSPPD people, whether they went to pray or so, in a stadium, massive stadium. The whole place was filled up like sand. And I'm thinking to myself, these Nigerians that are praying, do they think their prayers are going to solve their problem? They are just one danger away from falling into the hands of terrorists, kidnappers, bandits, organ traffickers. They are all there. Meanwhile, the protests that happened in NASS, I mean, even though it was a lot popular, there are a lot more people than usual in recent years when it comes to protests. But I expected the National Assembly to be filled with Nigerians. I don't understand why people in these times, why in this time they are going to go and sit and pray in the midst of danger, instead of mobilizing their leaders, even the pastors telling them, everybody, all roads lead to National Assembly. It doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah? So the leaders themselves, let me tell you, Peter Obi has organic following. If Peter Obi is there, do you know how many people will be at that National Assembly? All the leaders, all of them that are claiming they want to be president, even Amechi that say, stone us, he should come and teach people how to stone them by coming to National Assembly. Where is Atiku? Atiku is in Dubai. He needs to come from Dubai and come and protest. He should not be sitting there and waiting for people to protest. Then they will now come and make it. It doesn't work like that. It's not a good look. let me tell you, if it was Tinubu that was opposition, Tinubu would be in the front. All the opportunities that the opposition is just letting slide is very painful to watch. With what Trump is doing now, and the fact that this Tinubu's wife went to visit, and she tried to see the president after that, and the security say lie, right? All those things that are happening with this mess that's going on and they are involving, opposition is supposed to be positioning themselves now. Not be to go sit down for one place saying that the citizens are trying. Some of us, every day we wake up, now after we don't do all the running around and the things what we need to do, we still come back to talk about this Nigerian issue. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Fela said something in a song. 49 sitting, 99 standing. They go defend, they wake like cock. They go house, water no day. They go road, army go whip their nyash. Suffer for what? Amen. Enjoy for heaven. Amen. Christian go they cry. Muslim go they cry. I say, my sister, wait till you go here. So, why do that remind you of this song? An average Nigerian have been captured with religion and ethnic sentiments. Omoye's Corner. Today, if you open a church and you are doing miracle and telling Nigerians they will get miraculous visa to America, they will get miraculous money overnight without working, your church will be filled to the brim. Okay? So, excuse me to say when I say Nigeria are alien zombies. Okay? So, it did not start today. Nigeria have not wake up to know their left from their right.
Well, they are waking up, Sha. I mean, let me give them credit. They are waking up.
In
It's
economics,
just, I want
there's what
them
we
to
call
wake
scale.
up more.
No, wait, I'll give you an example. In economics, there's what we call scale of preference. Okay? The amount of Nigeria aware of their surrounding today, right, are still far less compared to the ones
That's true.
that do not know what is happening. There are some people, when you go to the street of Nigeria, they don't even know who their Senate president are. They don't even know their senators. They don't even know how their House of Rep. Okay? So, regardless of how we say all these things, Nigerians still have a long way to go. And I must tell you, the Nigerian politicians are the most luckiest entity in the world. I started getting involved in politics at the age of 15. Even though I was not able to vote, I read my civil education, what's this they call it now, in primary school, in secondary school then.
Government.
I started buying this book in the markets. What's it called now? God.
Social studies.
Not social studies. There's a particular name for it.
Okay, I don't know.
It's like a book where you know all your past leaders.
Okay.
Where you
history?
It's like
No, it's not history.
No, not history.
Okay.
There's what they call it.
Okay. I don't know
But
again.
it just escaped me now. So, since I was in JS1, I have been reading about these books. I won a book and a biro for answering a correct question about who was the president of Ghana.
Well, Nigerians, they are waking up small, sha, at least.
It's not about Nigerian waking up, madam. It's not about Nigerian waking up. It's about knowing your rights. I'll give you an example today. 1/3 of Nigerian populace today have a cell phone. But when we check the statistics of what they are doing in their cell phone, it doesn't reflect about how to move their country forward. If they are not watching Kalijana, they are watching Snoop Dogg, Wizkid, Davido, arguing about Wizkid and Davido who is better, asking about Don Jazzy and Olamide who have more money, or NSPPDC or whatever they call it, having millions of streams. So you can see the Nigerian citizens are captured entity. Depends on what content you create, you can have a share of their numbers. Fela have already sung about it. Okay? Suffer for what here, and enjoy for heaven, which is not realistic. So, in a nutshell, what I'm talking about, the few people who are aware will come out and will demand for their rights.
That's true. I'm happy that they're coming out tomorrow. I know a group is coming out tomorrow. Another group is the Yaga Africa. I think they're coming out on the 10th. That's what they said. Because the National Assembly is resuming on the 10th. They have an emergency plenary. They're not resuming, but they have an emergency plenary because of the pressure that everybody has been putting on them. And I just want this pressure to continue. It's very important. I was very happy to see a lot of people coming out and really putting pressure and talking about this e-transmission of results, because it will be the game changer. So that people will not, they will not just be unaliving people and hurting people and injuring people anyhow from one polling unit to collation center. We will just get rid of that. You go and vote, and then you watch your numbers. Go ahead. Yeah. Welcome. Hey, Rose, long time, girl. Welcome. Go ahead.
The days of electoral manipulation is over. Let me get through. Let me just walk you through how election used to be processed in Nigeria. In 1999, okay, election was basically the strongest man in the hood. We stuffed the ballots. Okay. And declare whatever numbers you want to declare. We move further down. People will be voting in coalition center in polling unit. They will be announcing. Only God knows where they got the results from. In coalition centers in this country here. To the extent that the late President Yaradua said, in the presence of his party members, men and women, he told that Nigerians, the election that brought me in was flawed. And when Yaradua was asked, he accused his party men that his party men stuffed ballots, manipulated the results in his favor. That was a honest man. So when Jonathan came, Jonathan, introduced carried them. And still yet, there were some imperfections. But the election was quite a bit better. Before, we have dead bodies voting. Are you getting? We have people, PVCs showing in 2 polling units at different times. So it was basically the political actors and gladiators having INEC in their back pocket, using it to do whatever they want. So we now move further to Beavers. And these same political gladiators found a way to off the INEC server and install President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So there are 3 coffins that will be nailed very soon. First is this electronic transmission. Okay? If we are done with this, the next phase of our agitation will be electronic voting.
Is it the Senate that will pass the electronic voting?
They will pass that is our law house.
No, that's what I'm saying. I said, is it also going to come from the National Assembly, the electronic vote?
Yes,
but why did
they
put it in? Isn't it part of the electoral reform?
Let me tell you something. As of today, most of the politicians there, okay, cannot win their polling unit. Let me tell you something. There are 3 laws, if being passed, okay, today: electronic voting, electronic transmission, and diaspora voting. These people will shit on their pants.
But the diaspora voting, they rejected it. Because I had the opportunity to ask, is it Mr. Itodo? Is that his name? The Yaga Africa chairman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
so I asked him about it. He said they are not even looking at it. That he's just going to tell me for free. They are not going to pass that diaspora vote.
Let me tell you something. They know very well that if they pass that law, they are going to peel in their pants.
Okay, so electronic voting is not part of the reforms. Wow.
No.
Okay.
We are just saying transparent. Okay, what we are saying now, we want to vote in the polling unit and see our results in real time. That is what is causing problem.
Right.
Now imagine if we are now using electronics, where you just vote and it shows in real time. Omoye just voted in Opoji Unit 2, Egwari Primary School, and it reflects in real time.
Okay.
These people know they can't win. I'll give you an example. The House of Rep member currently representing me, right, was elected with just 10 votes different from his opponent.
Wow.
In a normal circumstance, and we know the election was ranked in some rural areas to cover these numbers. If there was electoral voting, if there was electronic voting, transmission, and diaspora voting, there would be a rerun in that election. He managed defeat by 10 votes, just 10 votes. 10 votes. Okay? So you can see some of them will lose their polling unit. Look, there is a senator who admit that his whole family rejected him. In Nigeria, that even his whole family do not believe in him. His wife voted against him. His dad voted against him. His mom voted against him.
Why bother? If his family doesn't have faith in him, then why now impose it on
the larger populace?
Yeah.
Thank you. So it shows that our electoral system is flawed, and electronic transmission is the first step in cleaning up that mess. At least it will reduce the human interference.
Yes.
Okay? It will reduce the human interference. Don't get it wrong. They are still going to try to exploit the loopholes by making, maybe they want to shut down the internet, or even hack the system. We are going to resist it. If what we agreed upon is not done, we'll postpone the election. Election is in February next year. In June, we are going to see the candidate that will be flying the party of the APC. We already know it's Bola Ahmed Tinubu of the ADC and so on and so forth. By February next year, if what we agreed upon is not what they are going to give us, we'll postpone the election. So, I am so much invested in this because it will clean up our electoral system.
Right.
This will reduce ringing by 60%. So now you have to mobilize, go and canvass, tell the people what you want in a real time. Because you know why? One single political party cannot win all the polling units in Nigeria. It's impossible.
It's impossible, yeah.
It's impossible. Now you have to come and explain to somebody in Ochanja Market why he must vote you. You have to come and explain to somebody in Ewato why he must vote you. You have to now explain to somebody in Suleja why he must vote you. You have to explain to somebody in Gwarimpa why he must vote you. You have to now explain to people in Akwa Ibom why they must return you. Okay? You may win your polling unit and lose woefully in the rest. So how is APC going to do the magic and say the over 100,000 polling units in Nigeria, they won all? How? So that's why they are scared. Because we are going to see the real numbers in real time. So I would beg every Nigerian citizen listening to my voice, please and please, call your relations, call your partners, call your close allies in Abuja. Tell them the evasion of National Assembly is already activated and set in motion. That we should go and demand for our rights and set Nigeria free. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you very much, Alvin. Thank you for the knowledge that you just dropped on us, at least for expanding on it, because this is a very important conversation right now, because that's the only hope we have out of this mess, outside of just shutting down the entire system, this e-transmission is a glimmer of hope. And I'm happy that a lot of Nigerians are speaking up and standing on it. And I'm looking forward to them coming out to protest at the National Assembly tomorrow. I'm also looking out to the 10th as well to see what's going to happen, because they need to pass that e-transmission of results. There's no way, and everybody needs to put made a shut down National Assembly, which a lot of people have alluded to. If they don't pass it, they made a National Assembly not open again. That's it. May they just shut them down. May everybody enter. We don't even need it. They should go. We'll be managing the House of Reps. That's so. So I'm happy with the position that a lot of Nigerians are taking at this time. So let me thank you very much for that brilliant submission. I appreciate it. Let me quickly go through some of these videos, and you're more than welcome to stay. And I'm sure you will have other contributions to make as we move forward. Now, Ododo. This is from Parallel Facts. Compulsory sit at home. Insecurity worsens as Kogi orders closure of markets and motor parks. Oh, these people are finally giving in to terrorists.
This is where they want to zone like the Senate and the presidency are playing games. And that game is, this is where they want to zone Nigeria. They want us to go back to that old one so that they can perpetrate whatever they want to do, like in 2023, in 2027. That again,
just to be clear, how does this benefit them? How does this benefit them directly?
It benefits them now. All of them, see, these guys don't want to commit class suicide. That's what they just did. Because they know that under a free, fair election, none of these guys will return, including Mr. President. None of them. If Mr. President feels he has done so well, and Nigerians are with him, and then let him give us free fair election. Let him do that. But for them not to do that was the reason they did what they did. And I can tell you this for free. Mr. President will not sign this bill. Even if it gets to him, he will not sign it. Go and write it.
Why wouldn't he?
He won't sign it. I can tell you. You will call me back and say, he's not going to sign it. Because they prefer to have that 2022 that gave them everything. We still go back to court.
Was the 2022 Electoral Act, in your view, so flawed that it cannot give Nigerians...
If it was not so flawed, why can't Supreme Court adjudicate on it? It has flaws.
Some would say, if you're talking about the Supreme Court, maybe the legal counsel of whether it's the PDP or the Labour Party, they didn't do a good job of convincing them. I mean, we've heard... We've heard from the justices about how unconvincing the arguments have been.
No, the court was very clear. The court was very clear. Apart from all the other things that are there, that the burden of proof has to be on the, is it plaintiff they call them or whatever? Yeah. That is even wrong. It should be on INEC that conducted the election. That's what we're saying. Was that part of the other thing they did? Was there any? The big elephants in the room is this mandatory transmission of results from the polling unit to whatever portal they have created, so that people can see how are these things done in America. I've never seen where the chief of electoral body in America sat. I'm an American person. I do a lot with America. I've never seen where the chief of, and I've witnessed so many elections in the US. I've never seen where the chief of electoral, like our own INEC chairman, will come and say, we are declaring winner. You know what I'm talking about. You would have seen it.
But they also have a flawed system. I mean, most recently, 2020, remember what Trump said about the election and how it nearly...
What came out of it?
Upturned. I mean, it's still a problem.
President Trump...
Same issue in 2016.
Why?
Same issue with Bush.
Why didn't he say that when he won now?
Right. Yeah, so that's the point. Isn't the bigger problem politicians?
Was he saying that those things were the things that were corrected as I won?
Isn't the bigger problem politicians whose narrative keep changing depending on whether they are winners or losers in an election?
Our own is pathetic. The brand of politics we do in this country is only in Nigerian politics. You see, they will add black pepper, red pepper, and everything. It's not like that. We can't advance. We can't progress like this. Our recruitment process, leadership recruitment is important, and this is where it starts from. Now, our electoral law only deals more with general election. It does not deal with the primary election, where the whole thing starts from. And I've expected that these guys will look at this critically and say, okay, let's see how we can give INEC power to regulate, not to really, dabble into political party, because that's where it starts from. Before anybody stands for general election, you must have gone through the party primaries and the processes. So why? Okay, for instance, we've experienced in the past where you get the membership list, the delegate list that you get to the field. The delegate list you saw yesterday will not be what they're going to produce to run the election. Why can't they give INEC regulatory power to do that? I say, okay, party, submit your delegate list. You would have known maybe 90 days or 120 days before election. Nobody will be able to tamper it. That will sort it out. Okay, what kind of election primaries do you want to do, direct or indirectly? Let us know. Then submit the delegates list now. So why can't they do that? Okay, the same electoral laws talk about 1 billion ceiling for presidency, 500 million. Who is enforcing it? INEC does not have the power to audit. So all of these things are critical challenges that they would have looked into. They took all the time, 2 years. They took all the time. They prefer to go on flimsy. We have to change our national anthem. Excuse me. We have to change the color of our flag. We have to. No, this is not. We can't progress like this.
If you zoom out from where Nigeria started, from the 60s down to the Fourth Republic, you don't think there's enough progress to suggest that, in spite of all the gaps, we are making progress when it comes to our elections?
I wouldn't say that.
Really?
Well, we're not there. We're not there yet.
I agree with you on that.
Yes,
you wouldn't say that this is work in progress?
No.
We're not better than where we were in 99?
Of course we were. Of course we've made some progress. I wouldn't deny that we've done. But as long as we're not there yet, we'll continue to talk about it. We shouldn't say because we made progress, we don't talk again. We're talking about how we can make things better.
I'm asking you if you think this is all bad. This is all for naught.
Where we are
without this one element of electronic transmission.
Because it would have advanced us again. As look at beavers today. What is the use of beaver? It doesn't have any force of law, does it?
It does with the current amendment. You can't have an election without beavers.
With beavers. So whatever fault, whatever problem you have with it, so court can adjudicate on it. So what stopped them from doing this one at the same time? So that we know what is next, what we are going to, the loophole we are going to see in the next election.
Why is compulsory transmission of result a deal breaker for you?
Okay, because our electoral challenge in the last 2 election cycle has been because of this manual thing. You see result sheets multi-later. You see a lot of things. This thing, technology, all over the world are advancing with technology. Why are we retrogressing? This is what National Assembly, this is what the Senate, not National Assembly, the Senate has done to us.
Panic as terrorists ambush vehicles along Enugu-Onitsha Expressway, abduct commuters near police checkpoint. This is Chief James Agba. This is from News Central. Kindred head in Abande, Benue State, said his calls for security support were met only with promises and that the government acted only after many people were unalived. Residents are now fleeing the community.
And I don't know when we're going to wake up. I don't know what's wrong with us. I don't know. And I don't know when we're going to wake up. I don't know. I really don't know. The other day, nearly 200 people were killed in Kwara. President just came, released statement, normal statement. Oh, I'm saddened by the... Bro, who has been arrested? Who has been prosecuted for this? Nobody. Nothing. Just carry on. No, you are always sending people. What are they doing? Nothing. They're killing scores and scores of people every day. But today, people will go to church. Your religious leader, Daddy Gio, Papa, he will tell you to sit down there and pray. Pray that God will come and save you. They've started campaigning for the next elections. quote unquote, relax. Tinubu is fixing Nigeria. Tinubu is fixing Nigeria. He is, okay, they've announced coordinator for the East, for the West, for the South. Now, these guys will still go to these same churches, and your papa, your daddy Joe, will allow them on the pulpit to campaign to you, and will convince you that you should vote for this same evil. And you too, in the same cycle, in the same pattern that they've used it for years, you too, you will follow suit and you will vote. Papa did not tell you that currently the Senate is refusing to adopt a resolution amending the Electoral Act to allow for real-time transmission of election results, because they know it will not allow them to be able to rig. Papa will not tell you that one. Papa will just tell you to sit down there and wait and pray for spiritual solution. No problem. Now let's be waiting.
Okay, so your first lady now,
I don't know what's wrong with us. I don't know.
America. And she the first lady of Nigeria was in America, and they wanted to come on my show to talk about religious freedom. I said I'm not going to give them my platform to cover up what they are doing in Nigeria. Tony Perkins. Okay. All right, moving really quickly. I'm about to shut this down.
And I want to urge all my brothers and sisters, irrespective of political ideology, irrespective of who you support politically, even if you belong to the All Progressives Congress. A lot of you have reached out to me to say, see, we cannot build this country from outside of the circle. We need to join hands together to making this work. It means that you still believe that one day you will stand up before or in an election. So whatever it takes for you to put your foot on the ground, make your voice count, and join Nigerians as we occupy the National Assembly complex tomorrow. We can no longer continue to talk about whether it's our right to protest or peaceful assembly. It is already enshrined in the Constitution. We are permitted by all treaties, all charters, all conversations. Nobody can stop a people from protesting or occupying a particular space per time for any reason. So we have all the liberty, freedom, and right to do whatever we want to do. However, the reason for this has become very important. I've seen Akpabio talking in a forum. I saw a video. I've seen press statement being issued that there are several. It doesn't matter. The fact that somebody thought unilaterally he could usurp the wishes and choices of Nigeria against. For several months we have been on this. Several conversations. Several persons have sacrificed their own peace of mind, their own safety, their own security, and even their own resources to getting us here. Suddenly somebody feels he has the right, he has the ability, he has the capacity to do whatever he wants to do. You heard from us, you even listen to senators who were astonished, who were surprised, who cannot even explain what happened. But of course, Akpabio has his master plan. We will turn the table around. Akpabio will become a victim in all of this. Whatever they want to do on Tuesday is left for them. But Nigerians are going to make our voices heard. Please, whatever distraction that currently occupies your mind, whatever you use your keypad for, if you're unable to be at the protest site or the occupied National Assembly site, please ensure you engage and be available. Nigerians, we must use this opportunity to tell these people that we have not given up on this country. All they have sought for several months and years now is that we conclude that we can no longer run it, we can no longer be interested, so that they can take it wherever they like. They have destroyed our father's generation. They are tampering with our generation. They are almost setting the ball rolling for them to finish our children's generation. At least, even if we do not enjoy the benefit of quality governance or good leadership in our generation, let our children at least taste of it. And that is why I'm urging all of us again. Let's get to make this work. 9th of February, occupy the National Assembly. If you want all forms of other information, you want to know what to do, go to the relevant platform. This is not the time to do anything that is not pro-Nigeria. This is not the time to look at who is attacking your faith, who is speaking for your faith. This is the time for us to come together and make our voices heard and count. Nigeria must be good. We must get it right. Again, like so many persons have said, which of course I also agree, having the mandatory electronic real-time transmission of electoral results from polling units to the IRF is not a foolproof system to guarantee that elections will become free, fair, and credible. It's a starting point. It's the unit of having them commit to a process of having us choose our leaders by our choices, not by certain systems. I've heard all sorts of narrative. The current APC chairman used to be a former INEC commissioner, so he brought all of this. You have seen all of this new e-registration of the APC. Everything is geared towards the elections. So as a people, we must prepare just the way our enemies are preparing. Again, National Assembly complex, Monday, 9th February. If you don't know anything to do, 9 a.m., find your way down. Let's make our voices count. Let's make our voice heard. Let's tell these people that we are also stakeholders. In fact, we are more important than them in decision-making moments of this country. We must have 2027 election free, fair, and credible. And whoever wins that election fairly, freely, and credibly will let the person govern. We'll support the person and give them our vote. We are at the time of allowing illegitimate people to sit on the ends of our fair and begin to take decisions that don't bother us. You have seen all sorts of videos. There is nothing to tell you again. If these people are being voted for through a credible process, they will do better than they are doing now. They will do better than they are doing now. Go and check states where elections were won and lost credibly. You will see that there is a level of distinction. Unlike states where people were unpicked, look at Kogi State, for example. Handpicking has got its consequences. And that's why the current president would rather do lobbying than fixing the problem. It took Donald Trump to make tweets and make statements that was heartbreaking for us as Nigerians, for him to realize that there is need for there to be a change in the security architecture to dealing with this insurgency. And then whatever they say, they like, it's only Christians that are being killed. Even Muslims are being killed, and somebody said that from his mouth. God will punish bad people. And if you truly want this country to make sense or get better, this is the time to prove it. I'll see you in the National Assembly complex tomorrow, 9 a.m.
Nigerians, if you be human being and you are in Nigeria, the only reason why you no go join Occupy National Assembly protest by tomorrow morning, Monday, is that you are part of the problem. Nigerians, everybody must come outside, whether you are opposition, youth, civil society. Anybody that means well for this country must come out and make a statement to know that enough has to be enough in this country. God's will obode Akpabio. God's will obode Akpabio. Akpabio, you have done enough. Nigerians have condoned you enough. You cannot capture the whole Nigeria, capture the 10th assembly, convert it into a den of unarmed robbers, cavalier in your impunity and only able to sustain and aid corruption and criminality. This electronic transmission of result and INEC issue, where they go on, so it has to be the game changer. Akpabio, whether you like, a senator that you people came back from holiday December, you went for holiday December, came back by January ending. You came and hurriedly tried to pass a fraudulent electoral act that was only going to help you to rig election. And then you had the nerves to send and adjourn the Senate to go on recess again to come back by the end of February. Akpabio, you deceive yourself. You are playing with yourselves because Nigerians at this point, we have had enough. I am sick and tired of being sick and tired. If you know that you are in Nigeria, because 2027, the only plan they have is to rig. They want to legitimize the rigging machine. Whether Akpabio decide to go and do emergency session, all of them must come back. Everybody will put pressure. We must follow this electoral final bill. Now we want to see clause by clause what exactly is being passed there. Enough of the shenanigans. Enough and enough of the shenanigans. Akpabio, Nigeria is not your personal property. You are not the first Senate president. There was Senate before you, and Senate Nigeria will outlive you. This level of corruption and criminality cannot be sustained and allowed to continue. Nigerians, anywhere you did in Abuja, whatever it is where you do, whether you're opposition, anybody that means well for this country, tomorrow morning we are in front of the National Assembly. They will come back from wherever they did and come and look into this bill. We say go use our eyes, see every line, because when they work like secret court, the National Assembly is like it's worse than a witchcraft's coven. If you pass any law, you must create loopholes. Enough. We say no to legitimate or legalized rigging. We say no to stealing a mandate of the people. You Nigerians, if they stole your mandate the first time, shame on them. If you allow them steal your mandate the second time, then shame on you. Akpabio, you must do the right thing. Mandatory real-time transmission of election results, amongst other demands, we must follow it to a reasonable conclusion. Nigerians, National Assembly, men mount, whether or not they will go finally carry us, because me, this INEC issue, this election when they come, my vote must count. Ori Buruku Lenshe, or Shilenshe Akpabio, wherever when I go come back and we will settle this thing once and for all. I am tired. I have had enough of this criminality we call government.
Today don't reach you. It's already the 9th in Nigeria, as you all know. So that's it. This Fulani girl makes sense, so this Fulani girl, they make sense.
Okay, some Fulani content creators will stitch this video and say I'm being sponsored by, I don't know, I'm being this and that. I'm not a Fulani. I'm a Fulani 100%. You can go and investigate my ethnic background. I'm a Fulani girl. Okay, and I want to say that put Fulani in power at your detriment. At your detriment. Okay, and Ghanaians understood this fact. This is why they didn't allow them to be in strategic positions of power. they limit the kind of power. Of course, they involve them in politics and all that, but they don't hold significant amount of power in Ghana, and that is why they're angry. They're not angry because, no, they're angry because Fulanis are not in a strategic position of power. Come and check the northern Nigeria where they hold significant amount of power. Look at the atrocities that is happening, and they are the one causing it though. Okay, go to the south. The southern Nigeria is not infested with banditry and massacres because Fulanis are not in power there. They are powerless there. They are there, but they don't hold any power there. And some people are saying Sankara is a Fulani because Sankara was a Fulani. Look at the atrocities they are causing in Mali. Look at the atrocities that if not for Traore who came and decided to stop them. Look. So yes, Fulanis are good when you don't allow them to be in strategic position of power. They're peaceful, lovely. All right. The greatest sabotage you can ever do for yourself, as well in the south, I'm talking to you now, is to allow Fulanis to come, and they will come in the name of Islam. Okay. This is what happened to the north. This is the strategy that Danfodio used, and they want to use that same strategy in southwest. All right. They will say, oh, we are of the same the kind of Islam that Fulanis are practicing is not the one that you're practicing. No. That is why your side is peaceful and our side is chaotic. The recent massacre that happened in Kwara North, in Waro community, it was Islam. They came and they came to the community and said, okay, we want to preach Islam to do in a Muslim community. Are you joking with me right now? Are you kidding me? So yes, powerful Fulani entities are the problem. Bye.
You heard it, oh. This woman is still dragging what's his name? This Minister for Works. They drag him for fields, but we'll talk about that another time. Guys, this is where I'm going to stop it for now. But probably we'll see you guys tomorrow because that's when the protest is going to happen. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you to Mr. Alvin for coming in. Thank you for being on the panel and for your submissions. See, thank you. Oriyomi, I hope you guys have a wonderful start to the week. And Atlantic, thank you all so much. I'll see you guys on my next one. Bye.